November 5, 1872. A 52-year-old woman walks into a polling place, commits a federal crime in front of witnesses, and dares the government to arrest her. Stay with me, because Susan B. Anthony's illegal vote changed America, and she never paid a cent for it. It's Election Day, 1872. Women in America can't vote. It's not just discouraged, it's illegal. The Constitution doesn't explicitly say women can't vote, but every state has laws making it crystal clear: voting is for men only. Susan B. Anthony has spent years fighting for women's suffrage. She's given speeches, organized protests, and argued with politicians. But talk isn't changing anything fast enough. So she decides to try a different approach: civil disobedience. 2 weeks before the election, Susan does something brilliant. She gathers 50 women in Rochester, New York, and they all march down to the local voter registration office. She walks up to the registrar and demands to be registered to vote. The officials are stunned. "Ma'am, you can't." "Show me where in the Constitution it says I can't," Susan interrupts. And here's the thing, she has a point. The 14th Amendment, passed just 4 years earlier, says all persons born in the United States are citizens, and citizens have rights. Voting is a right. The math seems simple. The registration officials panic. They call their supervisors. Eventually, they decide it's easier just to let these women register than to deal with Susan B. Anthony's wrath. They'll let the courts sort it out later. November 5th arrives. Susan B. Anthony walks into her polling place with 14 other women who also registered. Election inspectors see them coming and freeze. This is about to become the most watched vote in America. Susan casts her ballot for Ulysses S. Grant. She votes in every race on the ballot. Then she does something even bolder. She goes straight to the local newspaper and tells them exactly what she did. She wants everyone to know. "Well, I have been and gone and done it," she writes to her friend Elizabeth Cady Stanton. "Positively voted the Republican ticket straight this AM at 7 o'clock. She signs it with obvious satisfaction. For 2 weeks, nothing happens. Then, on November 18th, there's a knock on her door. A U.S. Marshal, looking exceedingly uncomfortable, tells her she's under arrest for illegal voting. Susan's response? Perfect. She holds out her wrists and says, "Is this how you arrest men?" The marshal, embarrassed, says, "No, she can just come with him." "Then, I will not go with you," Susan says. Eventually, they compromise. She'll come voluntarily, but she makes sure everyone knows she was arrested like a common criminal. The trial happens the following June, and it's a farce. The judge, Ward Hunt, had already written his verdict before the trial even started. He literally pulls out a pre-written statement declaring Susan guilty and doesn't let the jury decide. Susan tries to speak. The judge tells her to be quiet. When he finally lets her talk, she unleashes. "You have trampled underfoot every vital principle of our government. My natural rights, my civil rights, my political rights are all alike ignored." The judge fines her $100, about $2,500 in today's dollars. Susan's response is legendary. "I shall never pay $1 of your unjust penalty." And she never does. The judge doesn't force her to pay because he knows what she wants. She wants to appeal to the Supreme Court. She wants this case to go all the way to the top, so women's suffrage becomes a national issue. By not enforcing the fine, he prevents her from appealing. But Susan gets the last laugh. The trial creates national headlines. Her crime becomes her platform. For the next 34 years, until she died in 1906, she used that arrest as proof of how absurd the system is. "I was tried and convicted," she says in speeches, "not by a jury of my peers, but by men." Susan B. Anthony died 14 years before women got the right to vote in 1920. She never got to cast a legally valid ballot in her lifetime. But that illegal vote on November 5, 1872, it did more than 1,000 legal votes could have. She proved that sometimes you don't change the system by following its rules. You change it by showing how ridiculous the rules are. She got arrested on purpose because she knew the trial would expose the absurdity. She refused to pay the fine because she knew defiance would make headlines. The government thought they were punishing her. Instead, they gave her exactly what she wanted, a national stage to say this is wrong and everyone can see it. What rule are you willing to break because it's unjust? What fine are you willing to refuse to pay? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear about the times you stood up, even when you knew there'd be consequences. If this kind of rebellious history lights you up, History Sparks is your home. Every week, we uncover the troublemakers, the rule breakers, and the people who said no when everyone expected them to comply. These are the stories they should have taught you in school. Subscribe, ring that bell, and join a community that believes history's best moments came from people brave enough to break unjust rules. See you in the following story.